let me go live first and then we'll continue with the class. Give me a second here. Ooh, someone is screaming in the background.
She's a small kid, but her voice very loud.
Yeah. I have to put in the washing machine. It's getting beating from the parents. Eh?
Yeah, I think so.
Rangi dia tak.
No, it
Hey,
sounds
belum.
like she's singing.
Yeah,
Hey, no
belum
lah.
puasa pun
Siapa
lagi.
punya rumah stay dia this one? Farid, your house ah?
No, Uncle Amber's house. It's neighbor, I think.
My neighbor.
Uncle, pergi kasih 2-3 tampar.
Wait, we are live on YouTube, bro.
YouTube ah? Fuck. Better mute dia.
Hey, be careful, your holy word.
Yeah, holy words need to be muted. All right, so we are going with the lesson of risk management, focusing on stop loss and take profit. So we'll start with stop loss first. As we know, we'll go with type A entry as an example. Type A entry, we already know that a candle closing above a resistance is our confirmation for us to take a buy, but we need a top wick, right? The moment we create a top wick and we break the top wick, that is when we go in for a buy. So that is the basic principle of type A entry. And the moment we break above the resistance, what you need to understand is your risk is on the line, because the moment we execute a trade, your money is on the line. So your job is to protect your risk, no matter what. You need to protect your risk. Doesn't matter if it's 1%, 2%, 3%, 10%, doesn't matter. Your job is to protect the risk. So what we need to do is, the moment the price goes up 10 pips, that is where we go break even. That is very important, right? Price moves up 10 pips from your entry point, we go break even. All of us do that. We know all of it. And this is where things get a little bit messy. You know? So what new traders they do is, they will think, okay, trade is going in my way. I'm not going to go break even. I'm going to place my stop loss on the previous candle low. What if the price comes down and then goes back up? This is the mistake that people do. So how do we avoid that or compensate that idea is, so example, price goes up 10 pips. And then, 9 pips. It hasn't tapped your 10 pips area break even yet. Let me just quickly do that first. Break even. That is 20 pips break even. All right. So this is my 10 pips break even. So price went up maybe 9 pips, 8 pips. And all of a sudden it starts to drop back to the downside. And your entry point is over here. Right? So what you need to do is, example, you have a 0.5 lot running. Right? So the moment the price comes and taps your break-even point for the second time before hitting 10 pips, remember, before hitting 10 pips, it went into profits for 5 to 6 pips, 8 pips, 9 pips, doesn't matter. And the price comes down, hitting your break-even point, close 50%, immediately close 50%. It can be 50%, it can be 90%. So what we are doing here is, our goal is basically to lose less than we put in. So if you put in 1% every single day, you need to lose less than 1%. That is your goal. Because we have the power to control the stop loss. We have the power to control your lot size, but we don't have the power to move the markets, right? So we need to understand that our money is on the line. If you extend your stop loss, now your 1% becomes 2, 3, 4%. So that is very, very dangerous. So what is happening now is, you are getting 10 pips profits, but your stop loss is $40. So if you win the trade, you get $10. But if you lose the trade, you lose $40. You see, it doesn't make sense, right? You're putting in more than you win. So it doesn't make sense. Our risk to reward needs to be in sync or greater than the price. So if it's 1-to-1, that is fine. If you risk $10 and you get back $10, that is totally fine. But if you are risking $10 and then you get $3, it doesn't make sense to me. right? That is not how we should be trading. But yeah, so your price goes up in profits, didn't tap your break even. The moment the price comes down, close 50%, 90% immediately. Don't you can never have a second thought. Because the moment you have second thought, that is when you do stupid things. Right? You will start dragging down your stop loss, you'll do unnecessary things, right? So main goal here is to lose less than we intend. That's it. Any questions on this?
No.
Okay, Uncle Ambrose, all clear, Uncle?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So let's go into take profit. Take profit is basically where we'll be closing our trade, and also when do we prolong our trades and so on. So how do I identify an area where I should prolong the trade or not, or secure early, right? So for me, what I say is if it's a clean range to the left hand side, you can extend your trade. But again, we need to understand that a range, if you have a range, that is a very, very strong key factor for us. So if your range is less than 25 pips, we won't be taking a trade, correct?
Mm.
Because we don't have enough range for us to take a buy. But in the
Yeah.
case of us having in total a range of 80 pips, right? But the problem with this is we have a minus support. It can be a top wick, it can be a 15-minute resistance, it doesn't matter. As long as you have a minus support leading towards the previous resistance. Now this is a clean range, but then we have an obstruction. So this is where I would secure as soon as possible. I'll show you an example later on. Understand, Sumita?
Mm.
So this is where we secure as soon as possible. You get your 10 pips, you get your 15 pips. Example, if the range is around 37 pips, you secure as soon as possible. You get your... So we need to get an average of the price. So example, if your range is 80 pips, your target should be 40 pips. That is where you should close full.
Mm.
Because price will never push up straight away. It will always come back down in order for it to go back higher. Because we'll be printing higher high and higher low. If you want to target 1,000 pips straight away all the way to the upside, I think that's a bit difficult, right?
Mm.
Very, very difficult. So let's look at the charts. Where is it? Okay. Let me look for a proper one. Proper one. Okay, like here you see that in this case to the left hand side there's nothing. Very, very clean. Correct? So
Yeah.
look at how the price it just shoot all the way to the upside. I'm looking at this price here. Price is
Yeah.
just shoot all the way to the upside. So in this scenario, this is where you can either just hold your trade, or what you can do is remember trailing stop loss, Sumita, you can do that as
Yeah.
well. As soon as and very important here, it's not the 5-minute candle, it's the 15 or the 30-minute candle. Because 5-minute candle it tends to remember the example that I showed you earlier.
Mm.
Two 5-minute candles side by side, and then the third candle will break the low, and then it will flip back bullish. So because this tends to happen, that is why we focus on the 15 or the 30. I would go with the 30. That is my ideal time frame, because 30 is a much more stronger time frame than 15. But if you want to go to 15, it's up to you. But I would suggest you to focus on the 30. So every time the 30 has a bottom week and breaks the previous candle high, you place your stop loss over there. And as high as it goes, just bring it higher and higher and higher. Or if you don't have the time for that, you can just set a trailing stop loss, right click, trailing stop, custom, and then 250 points. That is 25 pips. Or if you're feeling a bit more safe, you want to go with a safer alternative way, then you can just go with 15 pips, 150 points. Right? That is trailing your stop loss and when to prolong your trade. And let's get into when not to prolong our trade. So this, it looks like a very clean range, correct? This.
Yeah.
But then if you look at the price, we have too many top wicks. We have top wicks, we have support, we have resistance, everything is very, very messy. So even though candle, I mean, yes, if there's a lot of volume, price will just shoot up, but then it tends to push down first. It tends to collect liquidity and then slowly it will go back up. And this consolidation here is caused by this previous resistance. So that's the reason why when we have a resistance or support near close to us, we tend to secure as soon as possible. Make sense, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on this?
No. Mine's okay.
Okay, so stop loss, take profit, done. And now I want to go into, let's see, what can we go into today? Let me check my notes first. Too many topics, I forgot which one we're going to go into. Kejap, oh, this 15 is just flying. Yeah, I think a 30 closure above will be very good for a buy later. Uncle, any questions on the earlier explanation? Uncle?
So far, okay.
All right. Candlesticks is done. Types of trend is done. Support resistance is done. We just covered managing a trade, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just jump into the how for explanation. So I'll ask you a few questions first, Sumita, on a how for, and then we'll carry on from there. So
Okay.
do you have any confusions on how the how for correlates with the daily time frame?
How the hour 4 correlates with daily?
Yes.
Uh, Actually, I need to look at the chart, then I can say, wait, let me just.
Yeah, I think it's you can share your screen and we'll go with that.
Okay. Hour 4 daily.
Yeah.
Because I remember there's this part where the pause and go happens and it will show different way in daily, but I forgot how it
Correct.
looks like.
Pause and go happens and how you mean you want to know how it looks in the daily time frame, correct?
Correct. So meaning from daily, we will know, oh, it's a pause and go when we look.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
And then the top week. There's something to do with the top week. I forgot about that also. But there's something to do with the top week. If there's a very long top week, it means
It's a wick fill.
yeah, it's a weak fail.
Okay.
Means we have a resistance there.
Okay. I understand your question. Okay,
Ah.
so we'll go into the topic of the daily. How to identify a pause and go on the how for according to
Ah.
the daily time frame. And
Mhm.
anything else? Two questions came up. Anything else?
That's all I can think of.
Okay. How about zones where you can potentially look for buys and so just looking at the daily?
Oh, just looking at daily, no. 30
Okay,
minutes only.
we'll get into that. And then what else? What else? Let's see. Okay, I will just emphasize more on the high highs and high lows. Just looking at
Can
the
we
daily as well.
can we
Yeah.
know a no trading zone from the daily? Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
This area is this pause and go up.
No. You mean you want to exit because we want to execute on the 30, correct?
Yeah,
If you use the daily time frame as your no trading zone, it will be very, very far away.
very big.
Too far.
Very big. But then I'll show you a way where we can use the daily to get a range within the hour 4 and the 30 straight away. You don't have to go down and do your analysis, right? So we'll start with that first, and then we'll go down to your pause and go candles and higher high, higher lows of the daily top weeks and all, right?
Okay.
So let me share my screen again, and then we shall start with that. Okay, trading view, share, stop share. Okay, yeah, back. Let me clear the charts first. Give me a second. So this thing I call it magic analysis, right? So very, very simple. What you have to do is focus on the daily time frame. So this one I'm going for your question of how do we get a range within the 30 straight away from the daily, right? Just looking at the daily. So very simple. Daily candle is bullish. Just look at the color. of the current candle is bullish, previous candle was bullish, we are printing higher highs, higher lows, correct? So type A buys, type C sells, sorry, type B sells, that's it. You mark the high and the low of your candles, high and the low, sorry, the bottom wick and the top wick, and then you go down to your 30 straight away. So when you come down to your 30, what you have to do is just look for a clean range. If you have a clean range, you can take a sell. If you have a clean range to the upside, you can take a buy. And in this case here, we don't have any clean range to the left-hand side. So I'm going to bring it down lower. That's it, done. I got my no trading zone. I got my take profit for buys, for sells, and also for buys.
But it's supposed to be 4 lines, right?
Yes, uncle. But then the problem with this is we don't have a range to the left-hand side.
Oh, so
It's a new high. There's nothing to the left here.
Okay.
So we only have 3 lines. That's it. Job done. This is the easiest way for you to get a zone, Sumita. And if you want to go more in depth, we understand that it's a higher high, higher low. There will be a potential buy. So look for your nearest support resistance. Just go with it. Higher high, higher low, continuation buy.
Buys.
Job done. So let me go to a different pair quickly. Let's go to USD CAD. We'll start with the daily. Right, very simple. Looking at the daily, we get a box. Mark your high and the low of the candle. Jump down to your 30. Look for clean range and you are done. That's it.
So we
Simple
basically skip the hour 4 lah.
Yes, and you don't have to do much analysis as well. You just go with the breakup. Job done, right? That's your sell, and that is your buy. Yeah.
Oh,
very fast, very quick.
Easy, man.
Yeah, it's very simple. Any questions on this, Sumita? Let me just do another one quickly. See AUD USD. Looking at the daily, we got to okay. This year it's a bit tricky, but still possible. 30. Yep, job done. Buys with this, job done. Sells, job done. That's it. Yep, just a few seconds. Just a few seconds. You are done with your analysis. Break above, you take a buy. Break below, you take a sell. That's it. Boleh, Smita?
Boleh.
But in the morning session, you don't do this, huh?
We can as well, uncle.
Can.
The problem with that is it will be a very small range because the candle just started.
Oh.
So we need to depend more on the daily.
You mean the daily candle just started?
Yes, right. So the candle will open at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? So
Yeah.
it'll be very, very small. It didn't move much unless in the morning we have some news and then the price just dump all the way to the downside. Then yes, you'll have a bigger candle. But then usually in the morning it's Asian sessions. There's not much of a high impact news for gold. Right? Unless someone dies and someone important dies, then yes, that will happen. Right. So I think we can go into the daily time frame today. Now daily and the hour 4. Let me get back to gold for a while. Go. All right. So we have to understand that the daily candle, right? The high of the candle is our range for the day, and the low of the candle is our low for the day, right? The highs and the low of the day will be dictated by the top wick and the bottom wick of each and every day's candle. So this is the daily candle. So this is today's high, and this is today's low. And if you look at the previous candle, this is yesterday's high, yesterday's low and yesterday's high. And based on this, Sumita, what do you understand? What happened over here? Just looking at this, give me an idea of what happened in the hour 4. Remember, this is our low, right? This is yesterday's low, and this is today's low. What do you think happened over there?
Is it like a no trading zone in the lower time frame?
No. Okay, let's get to the hour 4. What is that?
A continuous.
Correct. If you go down to your 30, it'll be very, very clear. It'll be a higher high and a higher
High low.
right? So every time
Oh.
that we have a candle that is breaking a previous resistance or a support, I'm just explaining to you the basic principle here. We
Uh-huh.
are basically printing higher highs and higher lows. That's it. Very, very simple stuff. So keeping that principle in mind, if you look at the previous candle, this here, red candle and green candle, what do you think happened over here?
We
Sorry,
didn't break
this red and this green. What do you think happened over here?
that red and
Notice
that
how the
green.
candle. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just looking at it. Sorry.
Okay. So notice how the candle has a very, very long top wick to the upside, a very, very long bottom wick to the downside, and it closed as a bearish as well. It's a red candle.
Yeah.
So in an uptrend, where do you think the candle opened up?
Where do you, at a higher lower.
So for a candle to open up, we need to focus on yesterday's candle's closure, right?
Yeah.
So example, this is yesterday's candle and we are just about to open, right? If yesterday's candle closed exactly here, today's candle will open exactly there as well, correct?
Yeah.
So based on this, that is a higher high and higher low continuation, correct?
Yes.
Before even pushing, we already know that this is a higher high and we are supposed to create a higher low and then push up, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think happened over here towards the downside?
It I think some of the candles in the lower time frame created a higher low.
Okay, correct. So we created a high low on the hour 4 time frame. Okay. And then after that, we pushed all the way to the upside. Correct. Throughout the 12 hours, we pushed all the way to the upside and then we rejected back to the downside. So what happened over there?
Oh,
So let me
is
draw
it
that
like
out again. Give me a second. Let me
is
draw
it
that out
like
first. So
higher?
we know that okay, so you see here, we open up here, right? We already created a higher low,
Yeah.
correct? We already created a higher low. And then we pushed all the way to the upside. And then we came back down slowly. We came
Yeah.
down, we came down, we came down, and then we closed exactly at this resistance. So you can see how the body closed exactly at the previous high, right? So based on that, if you look at this structure here, and you just have to visualize what is happening in the hour 4 time frame. That's it. Just have an idea of what is potentially happening. So my idea based on this candle is candle went down because we know the candle will open high first. And in order for it to go up, we need to go down first. That is basic principle. High, high, higher, low, based on this, right? So the candle went down first, rejected the zone, it went all the way to the upside, and then it came back down, creating lower lows and lower highs. So now, even though the candle is bearish, it closed red, I'm not going to take a sell. Reason is
Okay.
because we closed above or exactly at a resistance. And that is the new candle opening up. So as soon as the next candle opens up, we already know that we are going to look for buys. The reason is because hour 4 closed over here, closing as at a previous resistance. We know that if price wants to go back up, we should be going down first, collect liquidity, and then filling the range back towards this hour 4 topic. So that is a weak fill trade. So based on this here, I already have a clear picture of what the hour 4 is doing. Right? So let's get to the hour 4 now. Okay, let me mark candle first. And then we'll see whatever that we discuss, is it accurate or not based on our analysis. It can happen on the hour 4 and it can also happen on the 30 as well. So remember, we went down first, and then we went all the way to the upside. We came down again, created a higher low, and then we pushed up, right? Let's go to your 30.
Yeah.
And look at that. You can see, and down first. So we got all of this information. just by looking at the hour 4 time frame. Sorry, daily time frame candle. So this zone here is where we came down. See how it correlates? The candle went down, and then slowly it went back up, filling in back the range on the third day, and potentially pushing back to the upside. Any confusions here, Sumita?
Why you mark the previous candle's low, from where it started, is it?
So this is daily low. This is daily high.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So if you don't have this, you won't have an idea of what are we printing. Like if this low is lower than the current low, that means that is a higher low.
High low, yeah.
Right? That's a higher low there. So even by looking at the daily, we already know that is a uptrend.
Yeah.
Even though if the candle closes bearish. So this is how we anticipate the movement of the price. But in this case here, if you look at this here, we'll focus on these two candles. I just want you to give me a brief explanation on what do you think is happening on the hour 4. On these two candles. Imagine this is yesterday's candle and this is today's candle. Focus on the bottom wick, focus on the top wick. What do you think happened? And explain to me from the day it opened, from the hour it opened, and towards the day that it closed.
But this one is not higher. This one is in the same area. So we are looking at what happened in the hour 4.
No, don't go down to the hour 4. Just look at the daily and then anticipate what do you feel is happening.
I think it created a higher low. It went
Are you
back
sure?
high. Sorry, it went back. It went down.
Okay.
So that's a low, right? Higher low, bottom.
Yep.
Right. So from higher low, then we went up again, higher high. Right.
Okay. Okay, that is a higher low. But then structure-wise, based on the hour 4, what do you think happened?
Structure-wise in hour 4.
Because when we go down to the hour 4, we look at the behavior of the candles, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
I think it created a lower high, lower low in the hour 4.
Correct. Because daily was bearish. And if you notice,
Yeah.
yesterday's example, this is today's candle, right? Yesterday's candle, we closed as a bearish and the body opened up over here. For a sell, body will start high and then dump down, right? So the price opened up here. And we just dump all the way to the downside, straight towards the downside. But
In
we
a
went up
bearish
first
direction.
to create a top wick. Right, we went up first, correct. We went up first to create a top wick, and then we just went all the way to the downside, creating lower lows and lower highs. Let me get my annotation too. I cannot draw properly on this. See, okay. So we were printing lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And at one point, we created a new support. So we created a new support on the daily, and that daily support is actually a new no trading zone on your 30 and also the hour 4. And this zone here is considered as a fake up. That means price has been in that area, rejected, and now we are pushing back to the upside. And this is the first time that we are pushing back after creating a lower low, lower high structure. So now let's focus on this area here. So if the daily candle yesterday it closed over here, today, if you want to go up, we already know we need to go down first.
Yeah.
And if you notice this, what is that?
It's the support. So it tapped at the same support as
Correct.
the
Double bottom, W.
Yeah.
Right? So we already know we created a support, we created a new resistance, we have a new no trading zone. Yes, and we have a clean range from the previous daily, creating lower lows, lower high. 100% you can take the buy back to the upside. So we got all of this information just by looking at the daily candle. So now let me mark the whole daily candle and we'll get back into the what you call candle. Why is my box too hilang dah? Kejap, my box too went missing. Where did it go? All right, got it. Okay. 30. I don't know if we are able to go that far or not. Oh yeah, we have. Look at that. Look at that. I explained everything based on the daily, and that is exactly what happened. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, double bottom, created a new no trading zone, and then we went back up. So you see how we built a story just by looking at the daily candle. So you don't even have to go to your 30 actually. Just look at the daily, you are done with your analysis. Go take your trade.
Faham?
Faham? Right. Okay. 2:30 we might have a trade because it's breaking a resistance. 17 minutes. Yeah, 17 minutes to go. We'll just wait for that. But then it's an uptrend. Impulse buy is possible. Yeah, we'll just focus on this for a while and then we'll continue with the next question. How to find a pause and go on the daily and identify that on the hour 4. Or is it the opposite way around? I think it's the opposite way around. How to find a pause and go on the hour 4 based on the daily, correct?
Based on the daily, yes. Look at
Okay.
daily and then identify it's a possible.
Okay.
And same thing, like look at hour 4 and then identify in like 30. I mean, it's the same like, daily, the rest, right?
Yeah, can. So 1 minute, 25 seconds to go. I'll take a trade and then we'll get back to the analysis. Right, let me open up my
Where are we? Where are we? But that is a very strong push.
Yeah, as long as we have a high low on the 30. We just created a new support on the 30, so that's my confirmation.
So the next candle breaking the previous high is a continuous buy, right?
Continuation buy.
There's no any support or resistance on top. So
nothing. Very, very clean. So you can prolong the trade.
Yeah. This one I'm going with 0.02, is it?
Yes, 0.0. Every session is a new day for you.
Okay.
Earlier you made $3, right? Close to $3.
$2.
$2, okay.
Mm.
All right, let's see. And I need a closure at least close towards the previous top wick, because if you just jump into the buy at an earlier point, you might just get picked up. It's a very, very high area. So we need a proper bottom wick and then break the high. That'll be a good buy.
15, right?
All right. Yes, 15. We have another proper minute again.
Was what candle? Oh, the candle is long.
Yeah, candle is quite long. Yes. Can you see my screen, Sumita? Is it visible?
Wait, let me check. Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. All right. So what's the range? It's 32 pips, too big. But then we have a weak fill to the left hand side, 20 pips. Stop loss, start to cook. A bit risky. The 5. 5 creating high, low. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait for the 5-minute closure.
Does the double rejection happen?
Yes, but then we have a high, low above the resistance.
Yeah.
So this resistance is lower than the previous resistance. So technically it's a high, low. If this guy just flies up, I'll just wait for the next 5. Because this
5.
stop loss too big. Cannot. Uncle, we are potentially going in for a buy in a while.
Okay.
So we'll just be a little bit more patient for a while. 5 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go.
40 pips.
So if there's no trade in the next 5 minutes, I'm just gonna wait for the next 30 to close. 2:30 and then potentially going for a buy at 2:30.
Trying to measure the
Okay, the 15. Holy. 26 pips. Range is very big. Range is super big.
Yeah.
And Sumita, remember the one that we are going today, the hour fall and daily correlation, right?
Mm.
That is just an extra information for you. But if you don't want to use that, it's totally up to you. You can just use your 30-minute and hour
The
fall.
usual lah.
Yeah, the usual. That's good. And this is just even more advanced way of looking at the markets. That's the only difference. Basically, better understanding on the daily time frame. That's it.
Mm.
Because for me, what I understand is the more you understand the candles, the better your trades will be, because you have a much more solid structure or solid base before executing your trade. You already know what's going to happen, right? So
Mm.
it can be much more, even more confident on your trade, like when you execute a trade.
The 5, it's creating a low, is it? High, low.
Yeah, 5 minutes creating high, 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 low. And this is the structure that we saw earlier, right? We tap and then we just flip back. In an uptrend, that should happen. But then again, I still need this area to be taken out, the 5-minute resistance, which is also your 15-30 hourly
15
resistance.
and 30, yeah.
Yeah. Two minutes to go. As long as we get a tighter stop, that'll be good enough. Uncle, your risk will be 2% for the day, Uncle.
Okay.
But morning you lost $2, so
0.2.
0. 0.2. 0.18, Uncle.
Okay.
Just need to be a little bit more patient here. 220 no trade, we head off. We get back to the analysis and explanation. The stop loss will be too big really after that onwards. Wait, the delay on YouTube is crazy, man. 7 seconds.
Too low, right?
Very, very slow. I don't know what's the problem. Yep, no buys yet. If you have any buy stops, Sumita, just remove it for now.
I didn't put.
Okay. So we'll just wait for the next 10 minutes, 2:30.
Okay.
Better confirmation as well. 30-minute candle closure above. And then we can go in for a buy. Right, let's get back to trading view. Let's see. Yeah. Resume trading view. Oh, okay. Close this first. Dun, dun, dun. Share. Trading view. All right, we're back. All clear, everyone? The charts?
Yeah, clear.
Okay.
I can't see anything.
Now?
I see. I can see. Yeah, now I can see the candle, big candles.
Okay, yeah.
That's
That's all.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So yeah, identifying a pause and go. We'll start with the daily first. How do we know that if it's a pause and go or not on the daily? Just by looking, on the hour fall, just by looking at the hour on the daily time frame. Right. So for you to be able to understand that the hour fall is creating a high and high low, which is basically a no trading, a pause and go candle on the daily. while the candle is pushing up and down, it's a bit difficult, right? Because the reason is because, example, this is your daily candle, right?
Mm-hmm.
It went all the way to the upside. It came back down, and then it's pushing back to the upside. So based on your understanding, what do you think is happening, Sumita?
It went all the way to the downside and then it pushed back to the up. It created a bottom wave.
Right. So technically, that is a higher high and higher low.
High low, yeah.
Just by looking at how the daily moved there. So example, we open up, we left behind a bottom which was the downside. We went up, we came down, and then we went back up again for the span of example 8 hours. We did that same thing. So technically, there will be a no trading zone. So your first 4 hour candle closed bullish. Next 4 hour candle came all the way to the downside, and then the next third 4 hour candle pushing the highs, breaking the highs. So for you to be able to understand the pause and go on the daily, you just need to sit and watch the daily candle. Is it pushing up or down?
Okay.
So it's very, very difficult, right? But then there are ways where we can identify based on the sessions. So if you come to London session and you see that the candle has created a bottom wick, pushed up, and left behind a long, long top wick. Let me draw that for you first. Pushed up and left behind a long top wick to the upside. With a small bottom wick, right? And so now we understand that price has pushed up, came back down,
Came back
and
down.
now we are stuck here, right? So
Yeah.
this is 4 hour worth of information. This is 4 hour worth of information. And if currently the next push is going back to the upside, that means we are completing a high low cycle. So now we will be breaking our own high, which also happens to be your how 4 candles high. First candle, second candle came down, third candle breaking the high. And let me show that on the chart so that will be better for you to understand. Let me see. Right, we'll focus on this three. Just use the same concept. Based on the concept, we will just go down to your 30. So in this case here, we are looking at the hour 4, and that is our daily. And we are looking at the 30, and that 30 is our hour 4, right? In this case, it's a bullish pause and go. So see how the candle just pushed up, came back down, and then pushed up, right? On the daily, it's just one candle. Where's the candle? Yeah, it's too small. Okay, can see it's just one candle. But then the whole pause and go happen inside of that candle. Can see the orange box? That is where the pause and go happen. So what we understand from this is that the candle pushed down first, created a bottom wick, pushed up, came back down, and then went back to the upside. Okay, that is the concept. So let's get to your 30 now. And look at that. Came down, pushed up, came down, pushed up again. Right? So that is where your what you call how far pause and go came from. Let's start from the first candle. Okay. Right, that's the exact direction. Went down, pushed up, went down, pushed up. Pause and go. So based on this information, we can look at the hour 4 and understand that okay, now the daily candle, it went down, it pushed up, came back down, pushed up. So you already know that you have to look for buys based on what the candle, how the candle printed, and how it moved as well. So for an example, like this candle here, it did the exact same thing. We came down, we pushed up, came down, we pushed up again. But the problem is we closed bearish. So that means we closed at a previous resistance, which is this. So now, even though you have a pause symbol, the only problem that you have is the fourth candle, it didn't manage to push up. So the third candle was supposed to go up, correct? It didn't
Yeah.
go up. It closed at the previous resistance as a bearish candle. So the job of the next candle is to collect liquidity and then push up.
Um,
Bearish, collect liquidity, and then push up. Faham, Sumita? Yeah, it's a little bit confusing to grasp everything at once, but slowly you will get there. No worries. Any further questions on this pause and go?
no.
Okay, daily candles.
No.
Okay, so let me just quickly go through the basics that we look into. Let me look for the zone first. Okay, so based on this candle here, just focus on this current daily candle here, Sumita.
Mhm.
Where do you think the buys will be coming in? Just focus on this candle.
Which the first long.
Yeah, the long candle. Where do you think the next buys will be coming from? Ignore what happened towards your right hand side. Just focus on this candle.
When this one, it went up and then it came down. It created a bearish candle, right?
You mean this candle?
Yeah, it has a long topic and then it created a bearish candle.
No, it's a bullish candle.
The third,
First candle, this candle.
where do we take a buy?
Yeah, where do we potentially take a buy? Ignore whatever happened over here. Where do you think the buy will be coming in from? Just a quick answer. That's it. Don't have to overthink.
At the high of
Jap.
it, is it?
Nope. Remember, that's your low. That's your high,
Yeah,
correct?
high. Yeah,
Remember Fibonacci?
yeah.
Okay, let me pull that up. 50%
Oh,
area. 50% area will be somewhere around here. Let's use our Fibonacci to confirm that. Yeah, exactly that. So now let's see. I'm very, very sure there will be a resistance or a support there on the 30. 15, 5. Right. Let me remove that. So that's our golden zone. Can see that? Support resistance. Remember the 15-minute candle that we were talking about? The what's it? The doji candle with a long top wick to the
long
upside
topic.
and a long bottom wick to the downside. Yeah.
The center body, yeah.
Look at that. You got the candle there. And that's exactly close to our golden level as well. So based on the daily, we already know that even if the daily candle is bearish, let's get back to the daily. Even though if the daily candle is bearish, if it's just pushing down, what is your bias in this scenario?
If it's just
Are you looking for buys or are you looking for sells? If the candle is bearish.
candle is bearish, we look, but it's a temporary sell, right?
Correct. It's a temporary sell. So your bias, no matter how long of a bearish candle you have, we understand that price will always come down first to create a higher high, higher low.
High, low,
And where
then
will
flip
the
back.
zone be is usually 0.3, 0.5, 0.6, which is our golden zone. And there will also be a 15-minute, 30-minute, 5-minute support, which is a very, very strong level. And if you identify the 15-minute candle, the doji candle, right? Some people call it an order block. So you can wait for price to create a support here, and then you take it back to the upside, take a buy. Understand? So that is how we get our zones from the daily down to the hour for just by looking at the daily time frame. So let me just do another quick, easier example. Let's look at the daily. Okay, I'll look for a perfect one. Yeah, this is nice. So look at this candle here,
Yeah.
right? Any? That's a bullish candle. Let me bring up the Fibonacci again. We tap the 0.382 zone, and then we fill back bullish. So looking at this, some will say that, okay, price is potentially gonna flip back to the downside because we rejected and we closed below the previous resistance, right? But then if
Yeah.
you understand that price, if it wants to go back up, it needs to come down first, create a proper bottom wick, and then flip back bullish, you will take a buy. And the zones will be based on the Fibonacci, or if you are able to eyeball it, then you can just eyeball it as well. And for confirmation, you can always go down to your 30, your hourly, and your 4-hour to get a zone, a resistance, or even a support. In this case here, the resistance was based on this high here, 30. Higher high, higher low, and then a buy back to the upside. So that's why when we do our analysis on the 30, I always say we have plan A and plan B, right? That plan A and plan B comes from this. Zone 1, rejection to the upside, and then zone 2, rejection to the upside. Even yesterday, we had 2 plans for the buys.
Yeah.
First was on the first support, and that is based on this as well, exactly like this. And the second one is based on the nearest support towards your left hand side. So we got all of this just by looking at the daily. We didn't even come down to your 30. Any questions here for identifying zones?
No.
Are there? Okay. Yeah, what else? What else? What else? Let's see, I think I've covered zones, candles, high, low, doji candles, zone rejection. Okay, yeah, I think that's about it for the daily. And now we'll go into the hour 4 time frame. Any confusions on the hour 4, Sumita?
No, Tata.
Everything clear? Areas where you should not buy and sell on the hour 4 time frame? All clear?
Buy or sell? No, that one I don't.
Okay.
Because normally we
So
look at 30-minute, right? So
yeah, correct. So today we'll go into the hour 4 zones where you can take a buy and where you cannot take a buy, right? But then here we need to focus more on the closures as well. 4-hour closure and the time of the candle opening up as well. This is very important. When it comes to the hour 4 time frame, the timing of the candle is very important. You need to pay attention to when the candle is opening up and when the candle is closing off. Or are we in the middle of the candle? Because, example, if you look at the charts now, the time is, we have another 3 hours and 24 minutes for the candle to either flip back to the downside or flip back bullish. Correct?
yeah.
So based on that information, what do you think is the highest possibility based on this candle current structure? What do you think is the highest possibility? Remember, we are just half an hour into the candle.
For it to flip bearish because it went all the way to the top.
Right. So we went all the way to the upside. We created a top wick. Right. We respected, we rejected, and now we are pushing back to the downside. And do you think it'll be a good idea for us to take a buy now if we have a support over here?
If we have a support over here. No, I think I'll wait for the daily high to be taken up.
No,
Sorry, the hour 4 high.
Hour 4? No. If you want to take a buy below this zone, where do you think you'll be taking a buy from?
I will see if there's a clean range in the 30.
Okay. Based on the hour 4.
Based on the hour 4, I really can't tell.
Okay. So let me emphasize on that. So we understand that this morning we went down, we created a bottom, we pushed up, we are rejecting for the second time, and we are potentially going to flip back to the downside, correct? So previous candle, we are very, very strong bullish, higher highs and higher lows. And if you look at the zone, we are actually in the middle of the candle. So in the middle of the candle is usually a Fibonacci area. where we might tap and then flip back to the upside. Okay, and in order for us to go back to the upside, we need a support to be formed. And where will our support be formed is, so now the candle is flipping bearish, and if we break our own low, we will be flipping bearish, correct? We'll just be dumping back to the downside. So based on this, we got another resistance to your left over there.
Yeah.
So we are starting from our right. Notice how we are starting from the right, and then slowly we are going to the left. So based on this current structure, I'm not going to take any buys. I'm not going to take any sells because we have rejected. We are within the candle's range. We don't have a clean range back to the upside. And if we break our low, we are potentially going back to the downside, where we have about 21 pips of range, which is not enough for us to even take a sell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for price to break its own low first, and then flip back bullish, breaking the resistance. It needs to break its own low. The current candle's low. The reason why we want to wait for that to happen is because, let's go down to your 30 now. Everything will make sense, you know. So if you look at this, now we don't have a support, right? If we break our own, our own low, and then we push back to the downside, and then we flip back bullish, what we'll be having is a new double bottom or a new support that has been formed. First step, second step. So now when we have a new double bottom, let's get back to the how for now. As soon as we create a new double bottom, we will be also tapping into the Fibonacci area, which also happens to be your double bottom area at the same time. So now we can expect the price to come all the way towards the downside, leave behind a bottom wick, and then we can take a buy, flip back to the upside. So the idea behind this type of trade or understanding of the how for candle is exactly like this one. Notice how for the candle to push up, we came all the way to the downside, tapping the previous resistance close to that. So for us to go back higher, you can go and take a buy if you want. But then the problem with this is it's just pushing up. We have not created a proper support yet. Even though that is a support, it's not a proper one. If earlier we broke the high, yes, we can go in because this was our support. But now we have rejected a resistance and we are potentially going to break this. So we have created a lower high in the 15.
Stop loss may be more, huh?
Yeah, stop loss might be more as well. So now technically we have a lower low, lower high. That is a fake out. So if this guy breaks all the way to the downside, we need to wait for the hour 4 to create a new structure, and then we'll have a cleaner range for us to go back to the upside. So while the 15 and the hour 4 creates a long bottom wicks towards the downside, you'll have a better structure, a better range for us to go in for a buy as well. Following, Sumita?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just recap that. While the 15 is going down and the hour 4 is going down to tap on the previous resistance, which also happens to be a double bottom area, we will have a cleaner range. We will leave behind a clearer range for us to take a buy back to the upside. So this new no trading zone will be formed on the 15 or even on the 30. Faham? Okay. So this is how we anticipate, is it a good candle for us to take a buy or not? So what if, and as we know, the hour 4 is a very strong time frame candle, correct? If it wants to go up, it needs to create a long bottom wick and then it will go up. If it wants to go down, you need to create a long top wick and then we need to go down, right? So in this case here, if you want to go up, we don't have a long bottom wick. So it doesn't make sense for us to go and take a buy now. So where will our next bottom wick be formed is on the previous resistance. So that's the simple idea behind that. So to simplify things, if we want to go in our direction, the hour 4, that's the reason why we come to the hour 4, to emphasize on the candle's behavior. Have we created a long body or a long top wick, long bottom wick, and so on. So if there's no proper range or proper rejection on the opposite side, very, very high chance for us to go back to the downside. In this scenario, like example, currently we don't have a proper bottom wick, we are flipping back to the downside.
Mm.
So you compare this bottom wick with this, there's almost 3 times the size. And then we went back to the upside. Right, let's go to the next pair. And I mean a different pair, and let's look at the how far again. GBP AUD. Okay. So when you look at this how far, Sumita, do you think there's a high chance for us to flip back bullish?
No, because it's a long top week.
Are you sure?
You're talking about the current hour
Based
four,
on the
right?
previous how far. Based.
Oh,
Yeah, current how far, yes.
I don't think so because I feel like it will go bearish first
Okay, let me just
and
add
create a
a 2
proper.
here, and then what about now?
Mm,
We just went through this exactly the same thing.
oh, it tapped the previous.
Yes, we
Yes,
tapped
yes,
the previous
yes.
resistance, we collected liquidity, and now if we flip back bullish, very, very high chance for us to fill in the
Still in the
range back
range.
to the upside.
Yeah.
So let's get down to the 15,
This
and
is.
look at that. The moment we close above, very high chance for us to go back all the way to the upside.
Mm.
And you see that's a higher high and a higher low.
Understand.
So
So,
this resistance, that support is on the hour fall. Look at that.
so if it taps a previous resistance, higher chance for it to flip back bullish. But if it hasn't, it needs to
Yes,
go all
correct.
the way
Because
down, tap
technically
the
we are
resistance.
correct. Correct. So when
Mm.
we come down to the hour fall, always remember you need to have a zone that has been tapped. At least 50%. If you don't have a zone, that means I mean, example, if the candle is bullish, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
have a top wick or a bottom wick for the price to tap, at least 50% towards the downside. And then you can start anticipating for us to go back to the upside.
Uh-huh.
And while we do that, we will leave behind a long, long bottom, because the candle has to come all the way to the downside, reject, and then flip back bullish. And this is how the candle will look like. And I think we've seen this type of candles multiple times before, right?
Yeah.
Like these ones. Yeah, look at that. Exactly like that. 50% area. It didn't tap any top wick, didn't tap any bottom wick, just the 50% area, and then it dumped back down
Mm.
based on the previous candle's color. So when it comes to the hour fall, let's go to gold and we'll focus on today's candle using this exact same concept. Okay, let me remove.
It hasn't tapped the previous
So
resistance, but
yeah, we haven't tapped the resistance. And do you think we have created a sufficient enough bottom wick for us to go back up?
no, it's not half of the. No, I don't think so.
Okay, so in this scenario, what you can do is, because price has just been pushing up for the past few days, I mean few hours, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 hours we have just been pushing up. So remember when I say candles will just repeat itself every single time, the same thing will
Yeah.
just be happening, right? So if you look at this, 50%, 70%, this is 30%.
Mm.
And just quickly look to your left hand side. If is there any candle that pushed up when it tapped the 30% area? Let's let me look at, let me find one first, and then I'll show it to you. Yeah, I think this tapped at 30%. Right. Wrong thing. Right. Almost there. We'll just take it as we tap. So if there is an occurrence where price has done this before,
Mm-hmm.
right? that means there's a very high chance for the price to do that same thing again. Because as I said, price will just repeat itself. And by that, I mean price is just creating a support. And if you look at this here, we came down, tapped the 382 zone, and now we are flipping back bullish. So now we have a proper support on the 30 and on the 15, because the candle is flipping back bullish. Earlier we didn't have, because the candle was flipping bearish. Right? In this case here, if we closed above the resistance, then 100% we can just continue the hour fall, breaking the previous high and then going back to the upside. To just continue what the previous candle did. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low continuation. Faham, Sumita?
Faham.
Okay. And to simplify things even more, just focus on the lows of the candle. If it's a green candle, just focus on the low. Are we breaking any lows? If you're not breaking any lows, there's no reason for us to take any sells yet, anytime soon. So when we look at this, we are just printing higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And once we have created a higher low, we should be creating a higher high back to the upside. And where will we be executing is as soon as we break the higher highs resistance, the previous higher high resistance, and get a closure above. Faham?
Faham.
Okay. So I think that's about it for now. We have another, how many minutes? Yeah, 11 minutes. I think I'm going to get a trade first and then we continue later. Right.
A lot of information. I need to rewatch the video again.
Yeah, correct. You need to rewatch. And I think I've missed some as well. A few things I've missed out, but I'll just have to recap on my notes later on. We will have these classes for three times this month, Sumita. The how for understanding. Yeah, I just scratched the surface for now. There was one point where we went live until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. We Ranjan, midnight we'll be talking about candles. Won't be sleeping. So later on, Sumita, I want you to analyze the whole market based on just looking at the hour fall, and then after that, just based on the daily. So if you practice that to yourself, you'll have a better understanding of what I talked about earlier. And for this type of analysis, you need to focus on two candles. Today's candle, yesterday's candle. That's it. And are we tapping into any zones?
Okay.
This is the hardest part of the lesson because you don't have much information. You're just working with what you have. All right, 9 minutes to go. We have London open in the next 9 minutes as well. Looking for a nice push to the upside. Let me open up my seed trader. Let's see. Sumita, share your screen as well.
Okay.
MT5, because we'll be taking a trade.
MT5. Here we are. Oh, we still under that. While we wait.
All right. Holy, what happened?
Yep.
Just dumped down. Right. I think this looks very good for impulse buy as well. If you close exactly at the resistance.
Somewhere near that ladder. The next one.
Yeah,
Bottom
I remember the 5-minute trade that we did this morning. Exactly like that.
We need a bottom.
Yeah, we just need a bottom week and then break of the highs can go in for a buy.
How do you know some 15 no need bottom week, some 15 need bottom week?
Based on the time. If it's 3 o'clock, that means the 30 is closing, hourly is closing, 15 is also closing. Right?
But let's say if it's like 2:45.
2:45 tak boleh. Anywhere in the middle of 9 o'clock to 9:30. In the middle of that 45, there's no trade. There's no 15-minute trade. You can either take a trade at 9:30 or 9 o'clock because that is when you have a 30-minute candle closing at the same time. Ideally, I would go with 9 o'clock because it's a hourly candle as well. Right? 45, 85, 15, tak boleh. Very, very dangerous. Yeah, I forgot to mention that as well.
Yeah, I get confused with that because some you say like it's normal for some 15 to have no bottom week and continue
Correct,
because the
correct.
previous 15 got bottom week.
Yes. And that is based on the volume time. Like example, like now 3 o'clock, we have a closure, correct?
Mm.
So as you can see, the current 15 is bringing in the volume, correct?
Mm.
So the next 15, it just needs a bottom wick to push up because the current previous 15 doesn't have a proper bottom wick. But if
Mm.
this candle had a proper bottom wick and the time is going to be 3 o'clock, I would happily take the trade for the next 15 just pushing up. I don't need a bottom wick anymore. I'll just use the previous candle as my stop loss because that is my
Mm.
bottom wick. But yeah, this looks quite good. And for this trade, I think I'm going to place my stop loss on the previous 15. So use a very small risk here and just let it go. Because we might dump down first and then flip back bullish. So be a little bit more careful. Don't just jump into the trade straight away.
0.01.
Yeah, 0.01. And then we just let it go. But it depends. It depends. If you have a proper bottom wick, then we can go in.
Depending.
7 minutes to go. I just hope we don't fly straight away. That'll be a problem.
I think we might.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. For 5 minutes has created a high low based on the 15. We got a pause and go candle.
Let me
Sorry,
change
minute
my
30.
hit. 0.01.
This stop loss is too big. 63 pips. Oof. 15 stop loss is 42, still way big. Just wait lah. Just wait for a while. 5 more minutes. Uncle, we are probably going to go in for a buy.
Okay.
Not going with a buy stop yet. We are just waiting for the candle to close first.
Okay.
Ideally, I would like the candle to close below the support. Sorry, below the resistance for the next candle to break it. Because that candle will be bringing in the volume.
Mm-hmm.
If this candle goes all the way to the upside, then the next candle will come all the way back to the downside. And then we have to wait a long, long time. It'll be a bit difficult. Wait, that my throat dried off. Talking.
Nick, for New York today, I'll join at 8. I have class 6 to 8.
Oh, in that case, if you win this trade today, we don't have to have New York.
Boleh?
It'll be tiring for you as well. Because morning we already had a session. Today we had another session. I mean, London we had another session. When's your next duty? Next weekend?
I'm thinking if I should take holiday on Friday. I'm checking my calendar still. Most
This
probably I'll
Friday.
take. No, not this Friday. Next Friday. Raya Friday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be good.
When is Raya?
Next week, Monday, Tuesday. The following week, Monday, Tuesday.
Oh.
Hmm.
So fast
But-
when the fasting went, huh?
Yeah, very fast. Uncle.
Hmm.
Easter is gonna come up very, very soon.
Yeah, Easter is April 12th, right?
Not April 20th.
20th.
Friday, it's let me double check.
Then what's on April 20th?
I think it's
Could
Good
be
Friday.
Good Friday, yeah. But no holiday.
Yeah, April 20th. April 20th.
20th is Easter, huh?
Yeah, Easter.
It falls on a Sunday, right? So 18th is Good Friday.
Yeah, 18 is good. They used to have a holiday for Good Friday. Now no more.
Yeah, last time. And then after they cancelled off west side, east side they gave because Sabah Sarawak
correct.
they followed. Now they taken off.
Very cruel.
Yeah.
Right. It's 4 minutes to go. Just praying that we don't break now.
Yeah.
Suddenly the volume muscle will just fly and go clean range to the left hand side, nothing blocking. Very, very clean range. I'm hoping 2624 take profit. 3026.
3026.
Yeah. Or even 24 somewhere there. We go by every what they call round number, like 30, 20, 30, 30, 30, 40, like that.
Okay.
That will be our take profit, because we don't have a range for us to go and place our take profit. We'll just go with the range, the zone that we have. 25 will be ideal. 25. 3025. Yeah. Include that. Yep. Spread is very small now today. Very, very small. Close to nothing. Very kecil. Not bad, not bad. Our stop loss is going to be 22, 23 pips. Half the risk will be good. Two minutes. If stop loss is too big, I'm not going to go into the buys.
Yeah.
Mm.
It'll be 30 pips right now. Watching the 5. Yeah, 5 minutes. What you call the structure that we were talking about this morning. Exactly the same thing again. And even better without a top wick. Let's see. Half the risk, uncle, because stop loss will be quite big.
Okay.
$23. Come on, man. 1 minute to go. 5. And if the next 5, the next 30 just open up without a top wick, just dumps all the way to the downside, you can put a buy stop straight away. Expecting it to flip bullish and break the highs.
Mm.
Few more seconds.
Buy stop at 20 pips above the current candle,
20
right?
points. Yeah, correct.
Change to buy stop, huh?
Not in yet. Haven't put any buy stop yet. So waiting for the candle to close. I think it might be a big stop loss. 24, 25. This is quite difficult.
Yeah. No proper bottom wick.
No proper bottom wick, and we pushed up first. That's a problem. The guy will just dump down first. Okay, so in this case here, what we can do is we can wait for the next 5, next 15, or just go with a very small risk and just take the trade, expecting volume to push.
Double rejection? No.
Double rejection. You mean the dancing candle, is it?
Yeah.
We don't have a setup for that. That's a problem. Even on the 5, we don't have a setup. So I'm hoping for the next 5, because 5 minute we have a higher low. If this guy closes a bullish, next candle breaking the high, we can potentially go in for a buy. But we need the current 5 to close as a bullish. One good sign I see is that the 5 is pushing down at a new hourly candle. So what I understand from that is the hourly, if the hourly wants to go up, it needs to go down first. Correct? So what we can do is, at the high of the current top wick, we can put a buy stop, small one. Expecting price to 0.01. Expecting price to fill in the range of the previous hourly wick fill.
20 pips above.
20 points, yes.
Then I put right here.
Stop loss will be 20 pips. 20 to 25 pips, somewhere like that. Uncle, just follow Sumita's entry point, uncle.
Okay.
Pips is this 15 pips so far.
301646 3016. Okay.
If it fills the range,
Okay, we got 10 pips ngam-ngam. Lepas tu if you break, you push up. That's it.
Took 0.01, right? Yeah, 0.01.
Yeah, 0.0. Your stop loss is 20 pips. Uncle, half the risk, Uncle. Buy stop.
Okay. Yeah.
And Sumita, quickly go to your hourly time frame. That's a type D entry.
Oh, okay.
But we are going in early because we have a weak fill to the left. Candle came down to create a bottom wick, pushed up. Hour 4 went all the way to the downside tadi. And now if you go to the hour 4 Sumita, you'll have a very, very long bottom wick. And now it makes sense for us to go and take a buy. Push all the way to the upside. Right, just wait and see what happens. It should be on the next 5 or 2 minutes to go. Right, it's very good. He came in early again. I'm still here, so 22 pips. Still okay. But anyways, we can adjust it towards the next new 5 minutes.
I mean, it's a good sign anyway, the new hourly is...
Yeah, properly creating a bottom wick before flipping. And this current pattern here is exactly like the one on the 30 prior to this. 30 minute. Okay, can see? Pulse angle, and then the third candle, the fourth candle broke the high. Yes, that's the exact same one. And it's happening on the hourly now. Alright, let's see. Can we flip or not? 1 minute for a new 5.
Yeah.
It'll be good if the 5 is able to close as a bullish in the next 1 minute.
Oh no.
And now we don't need a bottom wick because 5 has a bottom wick.
5 has a bottom weight.
But your stop loss will be on the previous 5, not the current 5.
Okay, we are in.
Are we in? Yeah, we are in.
Yeah, we are in. My previous 5 stop loss. Shouldn't break previous stop loss.
Break even 10 pips, let the trade go.
Can I set a trading?
Yeah, you can. Put it at 200 points.
I'm enjoying this. Failing stops, 200 points. Push, push. Don't drop, just push. How many? $2 here.
5 pips to go. Hey,
If
came
it
back down.
closes up,
No, I'm focusing on the 15 now, Sunita. 5 minute was just an entry. Because our stop loss is based on the 15. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. That's it.
my screen jammed already. Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh, I thought my screen jammed because the candle
No,
just stopped.
price, the candle is not moving. So if you want to manage your trade very, very aggressively, if you are not happy with the trade now, this is where you can close full. Because we went into profits and then we came back to break even, correct? And if you're not happy with the trade, this is where you can close full.
I think I'll close when it flips bearish.
Okay.
How do I know if the stop loss is a lot?
That's just 80 cents, 80, 90 cents.
It's okay. Just close when it flips bearish.
Yeah. So with the moment you practice that yourself, in the future, if you want to close anything, you won't be bothered. What if it goes up? What if it goes down? You won't be bothered by that. That's one good thing.
Is it always this slow for London?
Sometimes London is like this.
I guess
I think 3 days back, 2 or 3 days back, we waited so long just to get 10 pips. So long we waited. Was talking. Eventually, he gave us the 10 pips. And also, we based our trade on the hourly time frame. It's quite a strong time frame as well.
Yeah. It's got no strength again.
Yeah, no, not pushing, no volume. New 5 in the next 1 minute.
Makan. Yeah.
Not yet. Still in.
Yeah, I'm just looking really next 5.
Yours, is your trade over, uncle?
Yeah.
How come?
Put the stop loss below the candle, what?
Stop loss is at 301436, uncle. The one that is on Sumita's screen.
I think he put current candles lower.
That is, it needs to be on the 15-minute candle low, uncle.
How long more before new 5?
4, 3, 2, 1 seconds.
Better. Go it better. Back to my HFM. Push, buddy, push.
Come on, 5, break the high.
Push it.
And that is a proposed support on the 5.
This one, right? I can move my stop loss up, kan?
No, let it break 10 pips only, then you move.
Okay.
If you're not happy with this trade, this is where you can be out of it. So rather than losing $2, you only lose 30 cents, 40 cents.
This one is basically as long as it doesn't break this candle.
Okay.
So if it breaks, then I'll close full. It's okay. It's stop loss anyway.
If you want to close it over there, then might as well just put your stop loss there. A little bit higher, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, where is the volume? Where is the volume? Trump makan all the volume.
I mean the pattern is correct, right? Low, now it's going back high.
Yes, correct.
Shouldn't
No
come
reason
back
for
down.
us to go down.
Yeah, that's okay.
We are just down 3 pips for now.
Okay.
3016. Here we go. There
As
we
this
go.
Break even.
Yeah, we got our 10 pips, break even, let your trade go.
Beat up. 14
Uncle,
cents.
your stop loss, uncle. If not, you will win money
Yeah,
here.
that I got.
Yeah. Samita, if you want to close full, you can close full. If you want to let it go, you can let it go.
Oh, let it go.
Holy, look at that. 15
And
pips.
I will close full. I'm happy with the money. I'm done.
Right, let's go, man. Let's go.
It still can go. Oh, you close
Yeah.
already.
Never mind,
Okay,
it's okay.
that's
I
okay.
made $2 in the morning. Now $1.50. It's good enough.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, Sumita makan besar. Oh.
Hey, suddenly, hey, you came.
All right, let's go. That's another win there for the day. Asian win, London win. We'll see what happens for New York session.
Ooh, suddenly going
Regu,
up.
let your runner go. Just
Okay,
I
boss.
think 20 pips secure, like 20, 30 pips secure full. But I'm gonna let my TP go up till 3024. That's my final take profit. Sorry, 3025. Uncle, did you execute another new trade, Uncle?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, okay, no worries, no worries. Currently the trade is sitting at 19.6 pips, which is a very, very good amount. And yeah, I'm just letting the trade go as far as it goes. Let's go, man.
Hey,
I'm
you
up
letak TP
19.
mana? 3025 ah?
3025, yes, correct.
Okay, dan
That
aku tulis
will be
30.
84.7 pips away from my entry point. So if you want to round it off to 80, boleh juga, tak ada masalah.
Boleh,
Right.
boleh.
Congrats everyone on the win. And yeah, just wait for 10-15 minutes. Regu, lot size berapa tadi entry?
0.20 sudah tutup half.
Oh, beautiful lah. Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Cool,
Let's go.
beautiful.
I mean, it took some time lah, but then eventually you still made the win. Got the
That's
win there.
right. Dapat 2 icon. Boleh juga lah, layan lah.
Okay lah. Second biru lah, second biru.
Agak biru. Ada dah.
Yeah. Sumita, congrats on making. How much is your total balance now, Sumita? 30, 31?
30.
Holy, let's go. Go. Yeah, back to square lah. Right. So what else can we do? Yeah, just let the trade go. Nothing much to be done. 5 minutes. The only concern is the 5 minute might hit our break-even point. That's the only
Yeah.
problem. But
That has always been my fear. That's why I always close.
yeah, but you took a 0.01 kan today.
Yeah, betul.
Yeah.
Tak apa.
Stop loss was quite big as well today.
I mean, okay, what? $1.69. Almost
Not
20
bad,
pips.
not bad. $1.69, 16.9 pips. Which is very good actually for London. Regu dapat profit dah caw. Right, I'm still watching I have a runner going 0.05. Right. Anyways, congrats. So another 2-3 minutes we can head off. I just want to see what happens with the candle. Then we can head off. London is like this, Sumita. You get into the trade, you have to wait for 5-10 minutes, and then eventually the volume will be coming in. Eventually. Just need to be a little bit more patient. But when it comes to New York, you either get your loss straight away or get your win straight away.
Yeah.
Asian is still okay.
Asian a bit slow lah. Okay.
A bit slow, yeah.
But uncle, when I took Asian, within 1-2 minutes, I'll be done already. I'll just take when 9 o'clock like that.
Ngam 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll just set my this one. I'll wait for it to break even. Then I'll just let it go.
Yeah. You made 30 pips the other day, right? 0.01,
Yeah,
$3 something. A very nice trade.
What is Asian a bit hard? People coming office early already. I don't know why. Oh, pause time.
Pause
Pause
time,
time.
yeah lah. They get up early, take their food, they come lah.
Yeah, so people are ruining my schedule already.
Right. See, I hope we get another 100 pips today. Yesterday I got 130 pips. Today hopefully another 100.
Very good, man. You played a big amount or just a small one?
On the smaller account I got $10, uncle. So that means it's 10%. The bigger account
Actually,
got to
yeah,
close to 10. Yeah, yes, Sumita.
if you example you do like 0.05 and
Hmm.
then you close 90% at 0.04, and then
Yeah,
that 0.01 you can just leave the stop loss at the bottom. You won't lose as much as you gain,
yeah,
right?
because you have profits there.
Yeah, so you lose also,
Hmm.
you lose a bit of the profit, but at least
Correct.
you
That's
have
what I do.
space.
To wiggle
Makes
around for a
sense.
while.
Yeah, because they will have to come down low before it goes back
Yep.
high.
Yep.
That's
Unless
my
you
thing.
went in with a big lot size straight away and get your 10 pips payout, that's a different story. But in our
Yeah.
case, we want to be more how to say risk, manage
Okay.
our risk better, safer that way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Compound. That's why a bigger account is always better. At least $500 you can play around with the $5 0.05. It's okay. We'll just use this to get your $5,000 account.
How much was it again? 60 USD.
500 ringgit. Now there's a what you call a sale going on, coupon voucher. I just gave it to what's his name, Regu. He got it for 500 ringgit. I mean, 500 ringgit in return, you get a 27,000 ringgit account. I think it's well worth it. And every month you can get 2,500. Okay, lah, not bad. Invest 500, you get back your return in the next 2-3 weeks. Okay. I subscribed the account. Within 3 days, I already got into the leaderboard. It's very simple, like, very, very simple. And soon if all of us join the same broker, then we'll be competing with each other. See who gets the leaderboard. Right, we are up. How many pips is that? 22 pips with the runner. Uncle rugi lah. Yeah, sakit hati lah. Uncle accidentally made a mistake. $10 in it. There's no worries.
Yeah, $10.
But you went with 9, 10, 11, 14 lots. 0.14.
No,
Would
no,
have made
change.
$14.
Yeah.
Let me take a screenshot. 1 minute for a new 5. Sumita, write it down your data nanti. Excel.
Yeah.
Yesterday straight dah buat.
Yesterday's one I think I put in ready.
Okay. So end of the month, I need the Excel sheet. Just send it to me, copy. But this month, sadly, you didn't take many trades. Very less.
Yeah, very little. Today is 18. Yeah. We went with the loss first, right?
Yeah, small. Asian session. Right click, Sumita. Right click on the panel there, right? On the
Right.
timeline, yes. Right click and then go to custom period and select today.
Oh, okay.
Click on the entire history.
Entire history today.
Okay. So now only the trades we do today will be easier.
Okay, 1.87.
Right. New 5. New 5.
Where am I now? Yeah, correct. Yesterday's one was considered New York, right?
Yes, that is New York. Right. You took it at 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah, 10 o'clock. This one is
near open line.
Then today's one is pre-Asian.
Today is Asian Open, 9 o'clock.
1, then 27.44. Oh no, I need to minus 0.14, right?
Yep. Lot size was 0.01, right? So 14.
2 point, yeah.
Yeah, 14 cents.
Okay.
We started at 1 o'clock, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna be 3 hours, 3 hours, 30 minutes.
$2.01 minus. Ngam I lost. Ngam I get what I lost.
Yep. Break even like kiranya. Because the commission, kalau besar sangat the commission. As long as it's blues, it's fine. $20 to go for you to get back your modal.
So, 10.
I mean, for the funded account, the smallest one.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you have another $2. You can already buy the $32 one.
Oh, 0.01. We did with 0.01. We went to buy. Win 1.69 minus 1.55. This is pre-London or London Open.
London Open. 3 o'clock is London Open.
Stop loss, I don't quite remember. Entry is here.
Yeah.
Right. 3003.39.
So tonight I'll double confirm if we have New York session or not. Because I'm going to visit a house later in a while.
Okay.
So I'll give you a message in the group.
Okay. Then yang ni pula 302.15. And
So we went into the trade right just in the right time. Bro is flipping back berries. Just nice.
3016.54. Sometimes it's very tempting, you just want to let it go because you want more money. Right?
Yes, that's the greed taking
3016.72.
over.
But I'm not willing to risk what I have.
Yeah,
And
one side is good lah.
that's what happens for me lah. Greed come.
Once the greed takes over, it'll be very difficult to control.
Yeah.
This one stop loss just now was around 820.
Stop loss was $2, exactly $2.
Dollars.
No. The last trade, right?
Yeah.
Last trade was 22.1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
22.1
right.
or 22.2, somewhere there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this one was around
$2.21.
4%. No. 5%.
So your job, Sumita, is to fix your risk, right? Because your losses are bigger than your wins here.
Yep.
Need to manage your risk better. So if you didn't have this, it's a bit difficult to track how's your progress going. Asaka biru lah at the end of the day. Oh, risk 8% already.
This fella hit our stop loss, so 20 pips, right?
Yeah, 20
3 to this one, yeah.
20.01.
20. 20 means how many dollars? $2, right? So
It will be 7. I think it's 7.
yeah, should be 7.
Right.
Okay lah.
Okay lah,
7.
0.5% is fine.
This one I don't remember. 1.87 morning.
That was this morning, correct?
Yeah.
Let me check. Just give me a second. What time was the trade, Sumita? The one? Asian Open. We took a buy, correct?
Yeah, we took a buy 3
On the
hours before
5 minute.
now.
On
I
the
think it's
5
around
minute.
10.
Stop loss.
Hey, guys, excuse me.
Yeah, sure, uncle.
Okay.
Sure. No worries. 18 pips, Sumita.
18
Yeah, 18.
mana tu?
Close to 20, but then technically it's 18. Minus the, and plus the, what's it called? Spread. But okay lah, not bad. You managed to secure.
I know my
Oh,
loss wasn't
it's
more
you
than
risk $1.80, you made $1.80. Not bad. One to
yeah.
one trade. 18 pips, 18 pips.
5,
Today is a good day. Very good day.
6. Yeah. Okay. Three losses, but quite big.
There's a problem. Need to fix that.
Around $6 lah. Then my profit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. $8 to $10. So 10
So
minus 6.
our main goal here is to at least get $3 for every trade. $2. I mean $2.50 towards $3 every single trade. That's our main goal. So we need to extend our take profit 15 pips, 20 pips to make it bigger. And but then the losses is a problem because we are using 0.01. That's the only problem. You cannot
Yeah.
really do anything. So what you have to do is the moment the price taps your break even, straight away close. You don't have to wait for it to flip and so on. Right? This is how we're
Oh,
gonna try to fix.
means it goes up
Example,
and then it comes to the break
yes.
even point.
Yep. It doesn't shoot up straight away. It comes to your break even, straight away close. And then your loss will be 10 cents, 20 cents. Like that.
Faham. Now I'm at my modal price of the two account.
Mm. Two wins. I haven't got a screenshot of the trade to this trade. Ay. Right, I think that's about it for today, Sumita.
Okay.
Nanti New York, kalau we go live, I'll just let you know. We can go back to live. Right, so take care and I see you tonight. Where is Uncle? Uncle muted and went somewhere. Hey, yeah. It's okay, lah. We'll just end. Uncle, I'm gonna end the class, Uncle.